Listen, we're just playing with it. So, okay, it's recording. So, Carolina,
Okay.
in your professional experience with what's going on with COVID-19, what is the FICO score that you need for people to qualify, those who are still working to qualify for
Yeah.
FHA loan?
So FHA, Fannie and Freddie Mac, they haven't changed their minimum credit scores, but we as lenders have. So every single lender and every single bank, we all have our risk analysis and come up with our minimum credit score. At OnQ Financial, we're at 620 for any FHA, BA, or conventional loans.
Okay, so 620. Anything between 620 and 639, how much of a risk is that when it comes to, you know, people actually closing and not having many issues with their transaction during those, I guess, what is it, 45 days now for a close, 45 to 60 days?
Yeah, well, we're still closing purchases on 30 days. The refinances are taking a little bit longer, so we'll lock them for 60 days. But anything between 620 and 639, as long as the buyer has their down payment, are currently employed and getting paid their full-time salary, then we can close on a loan with no problem. Ideally, they will have 1 or 2 months of reserves depending on the risk. So what the system does, they will analyze how much is coming from their own money. So if the down payment is a gift, they may want to see more reserves on the buyer's bank account.
Okay, so when you say reserves, you're referring to what their mortgage amount is going to be. Hypothetically, if their mortgage is, let's say, 1,500 a month, they will need about 3,000, and if it's a gift, maybe 4,500.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. So, what have you heard about appraisals with people not letting, an appraiser into the house with the fear of, him being infected with the COVID-19? Are they
Yeah.
doing?
Yeah, so again, it all depends on risk. So when we run everything through our DU or LP system, which is our automated underwriting systems, it will tell us whether or not the property can have an appraisal waiver, or if we can have a drive-by, or if they actually need to do an interior inspection. So if a family that they maybe is refinancing their home, they don't have too much equity, and we must have an interior inspection, they can work with the appraiser to send them pictures or use the latest MLS pictures if they haven't done any upgrades on the house. And
Mhm.
then the appraiser can just do an exterior inspection. Now I have a lot of clients that have a lot of equity on their home. They have 20, 30, or 40% of equity. Those ones are getting an appraisal waiver immediately as well. But the ones that maybe they just bought last year, they don't have enough equity, but last year they got a 5% and today they can get a 3%, then it's worth doing the refinance now, and we can go as high as 97.5% on the loan to value on FHA.
Okay, so 3.5%, 3.5% down.
Mhm.
What about employment, verification of employment? I know that before you guys were doing it maybe a week prior, maybe 5 days, 4 days prior. What's the new guideline for that?
Yeah, so now we must verify employment within 3 days before closing, and we must verify it verbally. So for example, if an employee is working for Clark County, I'm sorry, if a buyer is working for Clark County School District, we need to call them and make sure that, that they're still employed and receiving their salary. If we cannot get a hold of the employer, we have alternate ways of verifying employment. So that would be receiving the last year-to-date pay stub and making sure that they also have 1 month of reserves in their bank account. Because with those two items, we can say, okay, they are still employed.
Okay. So we check on the income and the pay. Um, what has the lower interest rate? Is it FHA or conventional?
FHA will have your lowest interest rates, especially if you have a 640, 650, or 660 credit score.
Mhm.
That's what will give you the lowest interest rates. If you are buying or refinancing and you have a credit score more than 740, then conventional will give you really good options on 30 and 15 years.
Okay, perfect. So I think you answered everybody's questions. I think that was the topic, the subject that everybody was wondering, as opposed to what's changed with lending. So for those of you watching out there, don't be afraid to refer us your friends, your family, coworkers. You know, you will not regret it. We're obviously doing everything we can to get these loans closed. They're in good hands. So, Carolina, do you have anything else?
Yeah, just letting you know that we're working remotely, but we're working all day on everyone's loans, getting people pre-approved. Christian is working on the virtual showings, and we have so many tools available in order to take care of our clients. So just look at our information below.
Okay. All right. Stay tuned for our next video. And thank you for tuning in. Everybody stay safe.